anxiety in the workplace is very real, and bullying and being abused in the workplace is real. A lot of us have experienced this. I've even experienced this, and I didn't even realize what it was that I was experiencing at the time. It wasn't until I was actually out of the situation and able to truly take a third-person view at what was going on to see it and perceive it in a more factual way. Now, don't get me wrong, in any situation, there are 3 parts to a conversation or something that happens. You have person A's point of view, you have person B's point of view, and then you have C, which is what truly actually happened. Our perceptions can change how we actually perceive a situation. We may not be truly seeing it the way that is actually going on. We may not actually be understanding the person that's also in the situation truly. We may be perceiving it completely wrong, and a lot of what we feel in that moment can change those perceptions. What I want to talk about today specifically is work anxiety and then being bullied and abused in the workplace. Being abused and bullied can create work anxiety. It can make you feel like you don't want to go to work. It can make you seem really flaky because you're dealing with a stressful situation and abuse, and it's really hard to push through that. So I want to talk about some definitions first before we get into any specifics, so that way we can accurately define what it is that I'm talking about. A definition of anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome. So this feeling of anxiety that we get when we're being bullied in the workspace is a feeling of doom, particularly because you know deep down that what's going on is wrong, and you're worried that it's going to happen again. And in some cases, it's almost like you know that it's going to happen again, and you don't know what to do. And this is really traumatic for people that are involved in these situations, because you have this feeling of unrest, and you're not really sure what to do. So you try to seek out advice, and a lot of people, just tell you, you just need to leave the job. And that may be the case in your situation. But for a lot of us, we have then feelings of loss and feelings of failure with that, because deep down we feel like there's something wrong with us, is how it feels. There's obviously something we're doing wrong, and if we could just do the right thing, then all of this would stop happening. But we don't realize until after the fact that the person involved is just abusive. Abuse, when it comes from somebody, there's sometimes no rhyme or reason. That's just how the person is. And we have to come to a realization that no matter how long we stay in a situation, no matter what we do, how well we try to perform, the right answers that we give, it's not really about that. It's just that that person is abusive. It doesn't matter who's there at that desk, they're going to get abused. I didn't realize that every time I was being talked down to, or every time that I was being misjudged on my work, that it was actually taking a personal toll on me, on how I felt about myself, my work ethic. I always had a very strong sense of self until this happened to me. It definitely knocked me down a couple pegs and made me realize and appreciate fellow coworkers and employees, realizing that all of us truly do live separate lives. We all have our own issues going on, and we should never take out our frustrations or our anxieties or anything negative out on anybody else. When we're with coworkers and when we're a boss or a leader, we should never take out our frustrations on them. It doesn't make the person that you work with feel better. It just doesn't help anything. It won't even help the situation that if you're frustrated about something, taking it out on another person isn't going to fix the report or fix the project or anything like that. You're not dealing with the situation or dealing with the problem at hand in a productive way. You're leaving destruction and turmoil and chaos in your wake. After leaving an abusive and a toxic work environment, it is really, really hard to enter a new workplace and not bring those feelings with you. You'll constantly be questioning yourself, your work ability. You'll be looking for confirmation on your projects, and you'll be looking for validation for your work. You'll be seeking approval. You'll be constantly asking, like, is this okay? Is this okay? Be constantly apologizing for stuff that you shouldn't even be apologizing for. And it's because of being in an abused relationship. It really messes with your mind. Some people actually have disorders after being in an abusive situation. Just like being abused at home, when you work someplace, you're not expecting to be mistreated there. You're expected to go there, work a job, get paid, come home, and that's really it. But I don't think people realize that we do spend a lot of our day-to-day at work. For some people, you spend more time at work than you do at your own home. We should be able to trust our coworkers that they don't mistreat us, especially when it's your leader or your boss. They should not have the ability to hurt us that way. I ended up leaving my abusive situation, my toxic work environment. And I'm so glad that I did, because I had such anxiety. I'd wake up in the morning and just feel sick to my stomach, and I didn't want to go into work. I still would, because I had to bring money home so that way we could continue to live. But it was the day in, day out of the anxiety, the butterflies in my stomach, that I want to puke, I don't know what to do, constantly feeling like I'm worthless. And no matter what I do, it wasn't good enough. And then having the conversations of being sat down and ridiculed over and over, being talked down to, being disrespected, it really grates on you. It really takes a toll on your psyche. It really makes you question yourself as a human being. Maybe you are worthless. Maybe you don't do a good job. Maybe, why are you here? Just that sort of thinking, which isn't positive, it isn't good. And how can you be expected to do good work when you're not even in a good headspace? You're not good enough, so then you don't produce good work, and so then it comes back and, well, you didn't produce good work, so you're not good enough. And it's just like this vicious cycle. What really messes with your head, though, is when you're dealing with a toxic workplace where on one hand, 1 minute you're doing good, and on the other hand, all of a sudden you're not. But they don't let you know in coachings or in meetings or giving like feedback in the moment of what's actually truly going on. It's when you're in those situations that it's really out of your hands and there's something obviously wrong. If you have someone that's above them that you can go and talk to, it's recommended to do that. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, going through the chain of command, if you have an HR department that you could go to. And it's also highly recommended that you seek out counseling help and see if they can help you sort through the issues to realize that you're not garbage, that you do a good job. You're not being perceived accurately. And the biggest thing that I always want to leave with people at the end of my videos, and why I always say what I say at my end of my videos, is that you are amazing. And you don't deserve to be treated like crap. God does not make garbage. We are here for a reason. And yes, we do spend a lot of our time at work and working with employees and employers. But the thing is, we should all have respect for ourselves and respect for others. And kindness should exude from us in every action and every word that we speak. It's a hard lesson that I had to learn firsthand. Although it did leave some scars, I feel like I did learn a lot from the situation that I was put in. And if you're experiencing toxic work environment or abuse in the workplace, I hope that things can become resolved, and if the only course of action is to leave, I prompt you to do so as soon as you can. It's better for you to get out of that environment quicker than sit in it and have some really lasting scars through your work career. Remember, I love every single one of you. I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video.